we're going to talk about this, there's still more to this whole thing, but just to save time, we all know what we heard. So you go ahead. Like, what do you think about this whole thing?
I just feel, first of all, I'll say, okay, since this I want to do it, though, Very Dark Man should do fake transfer for Femi Falana. Since that's what if they say, if court order say go and do this, they will do another thing. Or since they say court ordered Bobrisky to go to jail, instead they put him inside apartment. Very Dark Man said should send fake transfer. Let us be running mad in this because
Welcome once again to another amazing episode of Western Luxury.
you know the vibes.
You already know the vibe. It's WLMP. How you feeling?
I feel prepared. Give my 2 cents.
To give your 2 cents, I mean, you know what I'll say. I can feel you getting more comfortable. Yeah, you're getting more. That's to the environment. Yeah. Like we said, this is a way for us to actually put ourselves out there to learn more. So without further ado, enough of the ceremony. Without further ado, let's go straight into today's episodes. All right. Very Dark Man. They will talk say we use Very Dark Man do case study.
Man of the moment.
Man of the moment, to be honest. So as of last week, we did an episode last week that if you've not watched it, go straight to our channel and watch it.
Make sure you tap in, bro.
Tap in and don't forget to subscribe now. What are we doing? Subscribe. But in our last episode, we talked about Very Dark Man and the things that surround him with the Falanas. And funny enough, as at the time we were shooting last week, none of this had happened. Only for yesterday for them to hit Very Dark Man with a 500 slam. They slapped him with a 500 million naira lawsuit, and it was asked to pay by the judge 500 million naira. But before we do that, let's hear it for ourselves.
Court slams Very Dark Man 500 million naira fine. The Lagos State High Court has ordered social media critic Martin Ose, popularly known as Very Dark Man, to delete defamatory statements and videos concerning prominent lawyer and human rights advocate Femi Falana and his son Folarin Falana, popularly known as Falz. Justice M.O. Idowu, presiding over the case, also fined Very Dark Man 500 million naira for libel and instructed him to compensate the Falanas for damages. The court's decision followed a series of posts made by Very Dark Man on September 24, 2024, in which he linked the Falanas to controversial Nigerian personality Bobrisky. Justice Idowu stated that the comments were defamatory and injurious to Falana and his son's public reputations. Femi Falana and Falz argued that the claims had no basis in truth and were created to tarnish their standing.
The case had no basis in truth and was created to slander their name. Right? That's what we just said.
Yes.
I think just to refresh our memory, we need to go back and listen to what Very Dark Man actually said. I think that's just fair, don't you think? All right, let's listen to what Very Dark Man actually said on that. So we can use that. We can just go word for word what Very Dark Man said without, putting in anybody's words or anything.
Best female dress. You saw that video, Abby? That he gave me best female dress.
That's when the old things.
That's when the old things started from. Jealousy, everything.
Envy.
So we shall got to court. I shall told them that I'm guilty. That maybe court will even pity me or say, oh yeah, pay fine.
I know.
Or community service. Sadly, the court sentenced me. So, I was on my way to the prison. Then my godfather called me and said, you will not enter that prison, don't worry. Let me make arrangements for an apartment close to the prison. That is going to call the controller in that's overall in Nigeria, in Abuja, and I'm talk to them. They shall talk before I come back. They now took me to one apartment that I must not come out till I finish my sentence.
That's so fast.
That The
Thank
guy
God
said
for
they should
that.
come out. The guy said they should come and keep me here. That I mustn't, um, I mustn't go like enter data, but nobody should know that I'm not there.
Yes.
You know. So they said the guy will collect money. They wanted to give them 7.
Wait. Who is this Bobrisky's godfather that called the Controller General of Prison in Abuja and instructed him that he should not let Bobrisky to enter prison? And the Controller General of Prison now gave Bobrisky an apartment outside the prison. Do you understand? An apartment outside the prison that he should act. He should stay there and he will not enter the prison. So Bobrisky didn't go to prison, obviously. Basically, the prison obviously is for the poor men and for the poor masses. So this is how the EFCC come and lie to us. Say they don't probe somebody, they don't arrest one big man for financial crime. But they go no go arrest the man, they no go sentence him or carry him. Go give her one lodge somewhere and he no go enter prison. This is what is going on in Nigeria. Do you understand? The law is only against the common and the poor men. Now only poor man they go prison. But Bobrisky, one godfather somewhere, that godfather you go come out. And the controller of prisons, the controller general of prisons, you have to come out and defend this. If not, me, I will continue rubbishing your name online, the controller general of prisons. So this is how they call you to remove prisoners. After the courts have sentenced a prisoner, you will remove them. But that's not all. Let's continue.
Like millionaire. I had to call Elele again because there's nobody for me to call. Elele um gave me 2 million, the balance of 2 million. So now I'm supposed to come out in what's it called? Ending of July next month,
Okay.
29th. Bad guy. His father is a son. So first reach out to me. His father spoke to me. His father said we can apply for pardon.
Did you hear what he just said? Did you hear what Bobrisky just said?
Exactly. He just said his father reached out to him.
His father spoke to me. Let's continue.
Pardon.
Okay.
That pardon the president because you know it's
Wait, Fowl's the bad guy.
I want us, before Very Dark Man talk, I want us to go back again and listen to what this guy just said now. He said, Faust reached out to me. I think.
so first reach out to me. His father spoke to me. His father said we can apply for pardon.
Faust reached out to me. Faust spoke to me. His father spoke to me. We can apply for pardon. I just want us to just get a concept. It's like we all know what we've heard before. I just want us to get an idea of what we are really talking about, because we can see here on social media that is like amnesia they worry Nigerians.
Like
Nigerians really quickly forget one or two things. We don't
want to brainwash us.
want to brainwash
something that
us
is
on
online.
something that is online that we can
It's
see.
literally there.
But let's continue.
Okay.
That pardon the president because you know it's
Wait, Fowl's the bad guy. I can't even believe this. Fowl's the bad guy contacted Bobrisky.
First off, he said, I can't even believe this. So Faust, the bad guy, contacted Bobrisky.
Exactly.
I want us to follow every single word he's saying.
So first reach out to me. His father spoke to me. His father said we can apply for pardon.
Okay.
That pardon the president because you know it's
Wait, Fowl's the bad guy. I can't even believe this. Fowl's the bad guy contacted Bobrisky. And Femi Falana contacted his father, and his father, Femi Falana, spoke to Bobrisky in order to divert justice. And this same Fowls, if this story is true, this same Fowls, we have the audacity to come out and say it's
If this story is true,
fighting against the government for oppression, that he wants justice, he wants Nigeria to be better. So that like this, you dey carry yourself. I don't even want to believe that Femi Falana will bring himself down to this level.
I don't even want to believe that Femi Falana will bring himself down to this level.
A whole Femi Falana, where be Fela lawyer, where we respect. Femi Falana will engage himself in something like this? Wait, what is the relationship between Falz and Bobrisky? Abi Falz said they do?
I'll be fast safe they do. All right. If we're going to talk about this, there's still more to this whole thing, but just to save time, we all know what we heard. So you go ahead. Like, what do you think about this whole thing?
I just feel, first of all, I'll say, okay, since this is how I want to do it, though, very dark man should do fake transfer for Femi Falana. Since that's what if they say, if court order say go and do this, they will do another thing. Or since they say court ordered Bobrisky to go to jail, instead they put him inside apartment. Very dark man said should send fake transfer. Let us be running mad in this because it does not make any sense. How would a huge expose come out like this? And the person that is being prosecuted here is the messenger.
How
To an extent, if you are someone that is really, really devoted into like the going forward of this country,
Yeah.
and as much as Falz and his father claim to be,
yeah?
if you are that much interested in we going for, when there's injustice, we get, even if he defamed you or you feel like he has insulted you, he has rubbish you, there is still, like, I still feel like there's still where you still put a balance to it or put a pause. Maybe I'm not using the right word.
Tamper justice with mercy.
Tamper justice with mercy. Because at this point now, you are now heading for the guy. His head chop up. Because 500M, no be small money. 500M.
500M.
$500 million.
Go ahead.
No, that's how much you say very dark man should pay. If he can't pay it, then you're obviously
I think he has to go to
He has
jail.
to go
I don't
to
know.
jail,
I don't.
then-
But it seems
if
like
you can't pay it, you cannot go scot free.
you can't go scot-free.
So
You can't
usually
just.
go to
There
prison.
has to be a repercussion for you
Now,
not paying
if he
it.
cannot pay, he does otherwise. That's the end of the whole. Or Shea Fowles want to say he's one that will now take over from very dark man and say he wants to go after Bobrisky.
It's so much painful. There's so much pain in this whole thing that is going on. There's so much hurt in this whole thing that is going on that I don't understand how, like what you just said now.
Yeah.
If what you're going for, you've always said it that you try to go for the justice of Nigeria, try to help Nigeria move forward. How is it that such a big expose come out? Like what you guys are claiming, what you guys claim is that he defamed you.
Yes.
Right? That's your claim. He defamed you. So why is it that you're not going against the person that made that voice, that said that thing in that voice
Exactly.
note? Or are you trying to also tell us that you believe that that voice note is fake, is AI? And if you say you believe it's AI, then Falz and Mr. Falana, come on. None of us here are kids. None of us here are stupid. We know what Bobrisky sound like. We know this is not AI. We know this is if it might not
And
come
to now,
from legitimate source.
to now bust your brain is that is AI, but Fowles admitted after the thing came out. He admitted in a statement he wrote down.
He had a conversation with Bobrisky. So there was a conversation with you and Bobrisky, and there's now a voice note that is coming out that is now proving that Bobrisky is saying that he had that conversation. How is it that you're going against the person that is analyzing what he heard? He has a right to interpret what he sees or what he feels about that conversation. He never said to you directly that you did it. He said, Abi, or is this what is going on? You might be offended that he said,
I don't want to believe.
I don't want to. Or you might be offended that he said, Abi, you are Gabriel, or whatever way he put it. And if in that case you are right. But didn't this guy still apologize? He made a whole YouTube video apologizing to your father. And when they called him and Bobrisky to court, not to the House of Assemblies to address this whole issue, Bobrisky did not show up. He showed up and he still apologized to you and your father. Sir, I want to put respect in this whole thing. I don't want to. Do you feel like the way you are going about this, do you feel like it's leaving a good taste in the Nigerians, the people you are trying to change that perception of? Do you feel like we, the commoners, we, the people that are suffering in this country, that you are trying to fight for, do you feel like we are happy seeing what is going on? Nobody disrespects you. Nobody thinks less of you as a man. Nobody thinks less of your son. But if a accusation was made, why don't you go against the person that made the statement directly? Why didn't you say that is a very false statement coming from Bobrisky? Me and Bobrisky never had any conversation like
Yes.
that. Myself and Bobrisky did not do anything like that. And leave it at that. Then now also address very dark man. Let him apologize. Which, sir, he did. Very dark man apologized. Now, we have now left an expose that is going into the corruption that we all know is happening.
Exactly.
We all in our deep down inside
Fowls
our
have sung
soul.
about
You have many times. You sang "This Is Nigeria." Fowls, should we remind you what the songs
Like-
that you sing, the things that you tell us that you are fighting?
Mr. Yakubu is about corruption.
Are you telling us that if we want to have a conversation about this, we cannot now have a conversation with you? Fowls. Is this sound hypocrites? Come on now. Is this the precedence you are trying to set in this country, that when anybody says anything that we don't agree with, as long as we are going against the rich and powerful? Because you have to realize here that you are the rich and powerful. Very dark man is not the rich and powerful. You are the rich and powerful. You are the ones with the connection. And when you are going about this, it doesn't feel right in our soul. It doesn't hit us right here. It doesn't make us feel good that you are doing the way you are doing. And it hurts us as Nigerians that actually want the betterment of our country, to know the things that is going on in this country, to not see somebody of your caliber and someone of your reputation go against somebody that dropped an expensive expose about something so crazy and something so indicative of what is going on in this country, and then the next move that you want to make is to say, no, shut up your mouth, don't say anything again, because all this is showing to us is to silence him. How is it that we've gone away from a conversation about the corruption that is going on in the system to about Bobrisky, to about very dark man and the Falanos? How is it that this is not a conversation about the two of you, when this whole conversation wasn't even centered around you people? This conversation was not centered around you. Were just a side piece that came up, and even the side piece that came up, you could have just easily said that is a lie. Very dark man don't sit. And if very dark man had continued to reiterate on that same allegation and continue to say, no, you people are the ones, then you people have every right in this world to sue him to court and take him wherever you want to take him. But he apologized on several occasions. And you decided that no, that is not good enough for you. We want to exercise how much of lawyers we are. It's all good. But let it just be known that while on our way to fight for something,
you stopped it.
You people are an hindrance. You are in a way an hindrance, because there is nobody like very dark man. This is coming from people that don't like very dark man. All of us sitting down here don't like this guy for shit. We don't like him. I don't like him. I have my own fair share of disagreement with very dark man. But when very dark man is saying something that is accurate, something that actually has to affect every single one of us, all of us as Nigerians need to put our bias away and actually follow and understand what is going on. Bias has to be taken away from this whole conversation, because if nothing is done, this country is going to hell. The last episode we made, we talked about how
country is already in hell.
We talked about what was going on with the other lady, and we see how people are just being oppressed every now and again. Very dark man is not a perfect human being. Sometimes he talks as if he doesn't have sense. I will be the first person to say that. Sometimes this guy talks like he no get sense. He just opened his mouth, like wow. But at the same time, still, we can see the intent in what he's trying to do. This one, it affects all of us as Nigerians. And all of us need to stand up and say something. If it's to plead to you to please drop the case, please drop the case. Let us forget about this whole thing. Very dark man would apologize. He has apologized. You want him to apologize again? He would apologize again. Let us, sir, on his own behalf, sir. We will be Nigerian youths where they suffer from this country.
Begging.
I beg, just drop this case. It doesn't make any sense. We don't need it. What we need to talk about is the issue on ground. There is an inherent corruption in this country that is eating down to our very fabric, that is killing us every single day. And people are no longer having the right to speak up. The one thing that we have in this country is our voice. Nowadays, we don't have that anymore. Please, let's not let petty things like this come in the way. Let's not let petty things, because the moment you silence this guy, it's gone, it's finished. Because somehow we've left a whole conversation about something so crazy. Someone was sentenced to jail. He didn't go to serve his time. Instead, he was in an apartment, allegedly. Let him come out and prove that this is a lie. Why didn't he come out? When he was asked to come out and prove it's a lie, why didn't he come out? He gave us a flimsy excuse of he was sick. And you feel like it's okay for you to be on the same side or to somehow look like you're on the same side with this. It hurts us very much.
You don't feel like that is tarnishing your image. Same image that you're trying to protect. You don't feel like being on the same side with Bobrisky is tarnishing your image.
It's paining us in our soul, deep down inside our body. They pain us. If you don't understand the hungry man, we will get anything. Our papa no be anything.
Yeah.
We don't leave anything for us. We will struggle every day. We will come for this country. We never see anything chop. We they suffer every day for this country. We know where this country they go. This country no they go anywhere. But they try small. Maybe we try rectify one or two things. Then now they come. They try disarray everything. They try throw it and go another corner. One person will get boldness to talk because he talk at you. You don't like the way he talk at you. You feel like saying no, now the best way to go about this. Now be this. Please tamper justice with mercy. There's so much we can continue going on and on about this, but there's no time. We need to move to the next topic. Or let this not be what we are doing. The video you're about to watch is of a friend of mine. He was harassed by the police, and see what they did to him. All because he said, "Why are you harassing?" or "Why are you harassing this guy?" Something like that, something in that context. And you need to watch the video. We see the video. Now, this is why we are saying our voices need to be heard. We should not be the ones silencing our own voice in this country, because what it breeds is room for people in authority, people that feel like they are in authority, to misuse it. We already know how Nigeria works, so why are we endorsing things like this? Watch the video.
Can you see what they are doing to me? Can you see what they are doing to me? I did nothing. I did nothing. Please call. Yes, call. I didn't record him myself, and I want to harass these boys. That's why I tell him. I say, how far? I want to harass these boys. You know, it in talk is the word they use. Wait, guess what he said? He said, "You are stupid. You are a bastard." I said, "Me? For telling you the truth." Wait. You now stopped me. Wait now. Wait. I listened to you. You two listen to me. This man stopped me. He didn't stop me.
What did you go?
He didn't stop me. I didn't walk up to him. I was passing. I said, "I want to harass these people."
Why will you do that? Why will you use that language?
Then you now said, "Okay, no, continue now."
Come and see him.
Then you that you are now beating me. You are now using your hand, putting your hand on me, Abi. You are putting your hands on me, Abi. You are putting your hands on me. No problem. No problem.
All right. That was a heated conversation right there for the whole very dark man thing. But on to the next one. This is another interesting update that is going on in the internet. Young Philly, as of the time we're recording the last episode, Young Philly was accused of sexual assault of a lady in Australia, and it was 4 counts. It was 4 different counts of bodily harm and some other things. And then we decided that we're not going to talk about it. Because we had no full information to go from that. And the thing about it is that so many new updates have come. So many things has happened in the space of a week. But I want us to get the gist of what's going on. I want to play us the case so that we know what's really happening. So this is it. It was a week ago. This was it.
Okay, major breaking news. YouTuber Young Philly has just been arrested for allegations of sexual assault on a woman in her 20s at a hotel room in Perth. They say that this was after he was performing at a nightclub during his Australian tour. He's appearing in court right now where he is being charged with 4 counts of sexual penetration without consent, 3 counts of assault occasioning bodily harm, and 1 charge of impeding a person's normal breathing or circulation by applying pressure to their neck. The prosecutor has actually opposed Young Philly's bail application, alleging that there was an extremely strong prosecution case supported by CCTV and photo evidence. And basically, they don't want him to use his social media influence to impede the case. Now, the charges do not suggest that the allegations are proven. Rather, he will now be tried in an Australian court. As we know more, I'll keep you guys updated.
All right. So that's the gist of that. That's the gist of the young Philly thing. So what is very interesting now is that a lot of people have come out with think piece about this, and it is quite disturbing, to say that it is surprising. I don't want to use the word disturbing, but it's very, very surprising to see how people are so quick. And again, I get what I would say this. I can see why people might be so quick to jump into conclusion, but let's not be so quick, because just yesterday, I don't know if you guys heard about it. Mbappe was accused of rape. Wow. Mbappe was accused of rape. Let me show you. Let me bring it up.
Okay, you guys are gonna hear news about Kylian Mbappe being investigated for rape and sexual assault in Sweden. But before you start to say, oh, not another one, just listen, just watch out, because media outlets are running with this right now. Well, there is still very little information. It might not be true at all. So what we know so far is yesterday a Swedish newspaper reported that an anonymous source told them that Mbappe was being investigated for reasonable suspicion of rape and sexual assault following his 2-day visit to Stockholm last week. And in Swedish law, reasonable is the lower grade to probable suspicion. All right. So this newspaper reported that the complaint was filed on Saturday after the alleged victim apparently sought medical attention. They also claimed that police had seized some clothing as evidence as well. Now, following all these reports, Sweden's prosecution attorney said, in response to media reports, we can confirm that a criminal report has been submitted to police, but they did not name Mbappe. Currently, there's no information about anyone being served with suspicion, and Mbappe's team said these accusations are completely false and irresponsible, and their propagation is unacceptable. All necessary legal action will be taken to reestablish the truth. So that is all we know right now. There is no confirmation about any of this.
Right. As at that time, that's all they knew. But so there's a little bit of difference, obviously, with this and the one of young Philly. But now, I am in no place to defend young Philly. I don't know young Philly from Adam. I've never met the guy. There have also been reports of young Philly being aggressive towards women. People have been saying that for a minute now. There's been rumors about it that young Philly is being aggressive towards women. But I feel like the sensationalism about jumping into conclusion when there's no definite proof of anything is wild to me. I want to play some videos of some people jumping into saying some wild things.
Let's be so real, young Philly probably did that plus so much more. And guys, anytime someone with even a little bit of fame gets these sexual assault allegations, their fans will come and defend them with the same tired talking points. And the defenses that I always hear are, she just wants money, or he's famous and rich, like he doesn't need to do that to get women. Firstly, it's a criminal case. I don't think the main objective of this victim is financial compensation. Second of all, sexual assault was never about a lack of willing partners, but rather control, entitlement, and power over women's bodies. And I feel like that's only exacerbated when you're like a big famous figure, because you think you're entitled to all of that. And let's be so real. I'm not saying that I saw this coming, okay? But there were signs. This is the same guy, mind you, if you go and watch those old YouTube videos back, that anytime a woman wasn't attracted to him or would like kind of reject him, he would get angry, guys. Like, I don't think a lot of women are surprised by this. I'm not saying we expected it, but I don't think it's surprising. Like, anytime I've seen him talking about women or like even interacting with them in his videos, it just seems like the only thing he's interested in is their physicality. Like, I've never seen him look interested in a.
Isn't that his whole stick? Like, that's my thing. Isn't that his whole stick? He and Harry Pinero. Isn't that their whole stick? Like, that's what they do. They don't appear to be like they're interested. And funny enough, a lot of the women like it. They don't mind. There's so many videos out there. You can go and check it for yourself. All I'm just saying is, it's so quick for us to jump into what if it then comes out now that this guy is innocent. Exactly. Because you're saying it like there are no cases of women outrightly just accusing people wrongly
for money.
Just recently, Mendy was just acquitted of all the charges that was levied against him 2 years ago. Mendy was accused. His club dropped him. Everybody dropped him because it looked so real. And at the same time, there are also people that actually did these things. We're not sitting down here saying that young Philly is a saint. All I'm just saying is, let's take a breather. It's not only this girl, though. It's not only this one. There are a lot of other people that said a lot of other things. I'm just like, bro. But she personally did not stop. I don't know what it is. She personally did not stop.
Do y'all remember when Philly asked Chunks whether or not he would let him marry or be with any of his family members if he became Muslim? And Chunks looked at him dead in the face and said no? Yeah, don't get shocked. His own friends are not shocked.
Bro, of course they're going to say no. Do you know how many times guys have you watched videos of when footballers they're going to go and ask American footballers, who would you not let date your sister in this place? Are those guys saying no because that guy is a woman beater? Or are they just saying no because he's a player? Isn't that who young Philly is?
Is literally basic knowledge. A guy, if I have a guy, yeah, and he has a sister, there's no way this guy will be okay with me dating his sister.
But even let's even say no, because the question was that Young Philly asked him.
Yeah.
He asked Young Philly if he would let Chunks asked Young Philly if Young Philly would let him date his sister. He said yes. Any of his family, he said yes. Then Young Philly then turned the question back to him, and he was like, "No, I'm not going to let you. I'm not going to let you. I've heard things." And she's trying to paint it as, oh, because he knew that he's a woman beater. But if that's the case, then Chunks is guilty. Chunks should be checked also.
Yeah.
But I feel like Chunks didn't say that because he thought it was a woman beater. He just said it because I know your history. I know how you play with women. I know how you go from one woman to another woman. I don't want you to do that to my sister. Shouldn't that be the first thing? It's like, how are we already jumping to this conclusion? This girl in particular. Let me play you another video again.
It's so alarming to think about the amount of men that will now support young Philly, not in spite of what he did and the serious allegations against him, but because of them. Because of those serious allegations and because of what he did, what he likely did, they will support him. And there will now be groups of people that come out and rally behind him because they've convinced themselves that he is the real victim. Like he's a victim to these women that just want his money or a system.
Some people saying that doesn't mean that it's not true. People believing that, I feel like you trying to vilify people for saying, oh, I want to wait for more proof. I want to be proven wrong that that's not what happened, because one too many times this has happened. And I'm not just about to throw somebody that I like under the bus, because prior to this, nobody has ever heard anything crazy about Young Philly. Open, like in general, like we've never really heard anything about him. He seems like an okay dude. We're not saying that he's innocent, but at least just give him a chance. Don't come out and start making crazy think piece like these people. This is another person again.
I don't know why people are shocked about this Philly situation, but I've told you guys before, people like this don't hide. They're the loudest in the community. They're the ones that even shape the community. Shape the community because they don't keep quiet. I saw a podcast, Philly and Chunks being interviewed, and Chunks said age of consent in the UK being 14 years old means a 14-year-old girl is free to do stuff with her fellow 14-year-old boys. And Philly said no, that the age of consent being 14 years old means at any age you are free to approach or be physical with a 14-year-old girl. That's what age of consent means.
Bro.
And I've told you guys before in my previous.
For the longest time, I genuinely thought age of consent means that's the legal age at which they are saying it's okay for a lady, for a woman, for a girl to be sexually active with somebody.
That's not age of consent, man.
That's what they're like. So basically, in that conversation that she's talking about, it is a true conversation that was had. And it brings up another conversation because you need to understand what age of consent really means. Definition of age of consent. So we have an understanding of what age of consent mean, Abi?
This is the age of consent is the minimum age at which a person is legally considered to be able to consent to sexual activity. It applies to all forms of sexual activity, including kissing, fondling, and sexual intercourse.
So, do you see how it's crazy that they just want to make this guy look so all right?
How can you say
Just objectively
like
saying
facts is makes him have the mentality like.
But let's continue what she's saying.
You are free to approach or be physical with a 14-year-old girl. That's what age of consent means. And I've told you guys before in my previous video, there is nobody that has this mentality that doesn't participate in stuff like this. It's impossible.
It's impossible.
It's like this finite conversation, like this finite statement that they like to make. They like to make it such a concluding statement that bam, and that's the problem. Just having a factual conversation about something. He didn't say it. He wasn't even. He has never been accused.
So what you're saying to me, if someone can give a correct definition of pedophilia, that person is a pedophile.
That person is a pedophile.
You just need to check your brains.
In this conversation, young Philly and Chunks was actually the one wrong in that conversation.
Because if let's say they were in the parliament, yeah, and they should be, it was told them that they were to pass the bill, and we have to follow what Chunks said, and the bill is being passed. Age of consent should be 14 years old. You're trying to tell me that unknowingly he has made 14 years olds open to they being approached, because he does not know the real he was not given the full real definition.
So the conversation, let me paint the whole conversation to you. So the conversation basically was that basically young Philly was having a conversation with Chunks plus their producer. Mind you, this girl is talking about this. The producer was on young Philly's side, though, was actually agreeing with young Philly and saying, no, that's not what it means. So basically what this guy was trying to say was that the age of consent is if the age of consent is 14 in a country, that's what Chunks is saying. Chunks is saying if the age of consent is 14 in a country, it doesn't mean that a 14-year-old can have sexual intercourse with a 20-year-old. It just means a 14-year-old can have sexual intercourse with another 14-year-old. That's what it means. It doesn't mean they can. But Chunks, young Philly and the producer were like, no, that's not what it means. What it really means is that a 14-year-old can have sex. If that's what the law is in the country, the 14-year-old can have sex with the 20-year-old. I personally don't agree with that. I feel like if you as a man, you're attracted to a 14-year-old, there's something fucking wrong with you. No matter what the age of consent is in that country. Me personally. But the law doesn't dictate that. That's not what they do. So you might feel like that's not the case. But young Philly was also saying, I don't agree with this thing, no, but you are wrong on what you're saying because that's not what it means.
So that's what I'm just saying. If at anything, young Philly in that conversation was even protecting the 14-year-olds more, because by him giving them the full explanation of what age of consent really means, he has helped them understand more that we shouldn't even be having a conversation of 14 years old having age of consent.
Okay. I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying.
He even did more.
I get what you're saying. So what you're trying to say is that conversation of young Philly and Chunks was actually painting it in a way that in a more like but he was just trying to
this is the real shit we're talking about. Exactly.
So this is not right. Maybe they should change this whole conversation. This is not what it is. This what you're saying is not how it's supposed to be. It's not what it is. This is what they are saying. So it's like how you're already painting him to be something that he's not.
Exactly.
Just because of now he has been accused of something that we have all seen over time and time again. A lot of people have been accused of things like this and they are wrong. Are we going to act like Amber Heard and Johnny Depp did not just happen right in front of us? Or there are many other cases we can count. Still, there are still so many other cases of ladies being assaulted by men that we don't know of, which I understand that you are pissed. And if you ask me personally, I genuinely feel like a huge part of me believes that young Philly might have done what they're accusing him of. Because based on what I'm seeing, but I will not come out here just so I can score points with you guys and look like I'm a saint and now say, oh yeah, he did it. I would rather wait for a finite conversation that shows that yes, he did this thing before I castigate somebody and say he did it. It should go all across. It should go across board.
Let me only say something. What is worth doing is what's done well. So if we are to put someone in jail or put someone in prison for doing something, let's make sure that he's 100% wrong. Because if it should turn out that he didn't do all these things, and we are pushing out these narratives here, it will end up being him losing his means of livelihood.
He has already lost. That one has gone. That ship has sailed. He has lost everything. All his endorsement deals, everything has been taken away from him. 20v1 has been taken down. That has over 40 million views. His deal with EA Sport has been taken off. His brand endorsement deals, a lot of endorsement deals that he has been taken off. His life is ruined. If even come out that this guy is innocent, his life is ruined. But this is another conversation. This is a further conversation that just needs to be had with men. Because young Philly didn't handle himself well in the eyes of the public.
Yeah.
He looked so sexually hungry. Young men out there, we need to have a conversation. Maybe on another podcast, we'll have this conversation on sexual discipline. Control your fucking self. Don't put yourself in a situation like this
situations
guy.
like this where they get you on
tape misbehaving. Maybe this guy did not do it, but because of what we've seen, this is why people can't jump into conclusion. People have not even done things like this, and people are already jumping into conclusion. Why won't it be so easy for people like this to just come out and say wild and outrageous things about him? I just say, not even outrageous, but just say things about him without any finite conversation. We don't know what is happening. All we know is that they are saying they have a CCTV footage and a video evidence. Bro, we don't know the full story. Let us chill. Let us wait and first get the full gist before you start jumping from one ship to another ship. Just to put everything in balance, hear this other lady talk about young Philly. You talk about the situation.
So before I go further into this video, I'd just like to take this time to apologize to young Philly, to apologize to any of his friends, his family, anyone associated with him. And I would also like to apologize to any rappers in the UK who has seen this and has been affected and now feel some type of way about us females in Australia. I deeply apologize. We are not like that. There are certain individuals that like to take things too far, and it gives the rest of us.
Let me just fast forward because it's a bit long.
This mysterious female is Miss Emma Burns, the one and only stripper and sex worker. Round of applause for Miss Emma. Friends have come out and they have exposed her. Why am I so annoyed? It's because Emma Burns' friends have come out and they have exposed her. Emma went to the hotel with young Philly and they both had a mutual agreement. When you have a mutual agreement, babes, it's consensual, so there's no rape there. It is consensual. Yes, if they, take it a bit further and stuff, then, okay, yeah, it is a bit too much and charges can be pressed. But it was a mutual agreement. Emma Burns had then texted her friends and said, one of her friends, and told her friend how much of a good time she really had and that she was ready to go home. Could her friend book her an Uber? Remember that. Her friend should book her the Uber, but she's a stripper. Please remember these two things, okay? Because we're going to be very logic here. Actually, I don't need it anymore. She then told her friend, actually, I don't need it anymore. That doesn't sound like someone who's being sexually assaulted, Emma. That sounds like someone who's having a...
So basically, she asked for the Uber, then also sent back that tell her she doesn't want the Uber. Let me play you a live video. That this lady just disappointed me. It's like another black lady. This lady was just so excited about this. She was enjoying and craving the conversation.
Calm down. You have all the time in the world. I'm listening to you. I'm here. We are here. Take your time.
Mind you, all this was happening the very day this happened. No, I'm not talking about 2 days after this happened. The very day. This was 6 days ago. It happened 6 days. This was 6 days ago. This happened. This happened that very day. Well, let's continue.
What you want to say, you don't want to say, it's absolutely...
Okay, I'm just people are saying to get to the point, so I'm just going to get to the point.
No. Listen to me. Don't worry about these rascal people, you understand? Because I'll lock off comments, you know what I mean? I don't give a fuck. And to be honest, they're not liking up the live like they're supposed to, you know what I'm saying? Because I'll shut this shit off. You know what I mean? But at the same time, I want you to be comfortable in telling this story because we absolutely need to get to the bottom of this shit. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm not sitting on here for fucking 3 hours to, you know what I'm saying, be rushed. Absolutely the fuck not. So, Cheyenne, take your time. She wanted to go back to yours to get ready for a night with Philly, right?
Yeah.
Cool. Go.
Yeah. So the club was literally in town. I lived in town. So me and this other girl, we were in the club where Philly was. And as soon as she left, my friend that was going to get ready to go see him, as soon as she left, Philly started like whining on some other girl. Even though all that night, like he was like, telling, how do I say her name? Telling my friend like, oh, come back with me. They weren't together. Like they just used to see each other. So every time they go to a club together, they see each other on the same night. They always leave together.
I just want to fast forward it.
And I messaged her, told her like, look, he's literally whining on some other girl. She comes back within like 5-10 minutes because I didn't live too far. And next minute he's messaging her saying, oh, come to the car, I'm leaving. And he's literally messaging her like abuse, like saying like, I'm leaving you, I don't care, like, And so I've got a video of this, by the way. So we go to the back of the club, me and my friend, and then the girl that's going back with Philly, like she gets in his car and he's literally shouting at her saying like, no, get out, I don't want you here anymore, like you're taking your time, whatever. So anyways, later that night, it was around like 3 a.m. She goes to his hotel. She rings me, and she says, she's like whispering. She's saying like, "Oh, like Siren, can you come like get an Uber from me, like whatever."
This coincides. This is why I wanted to. It coincides with what that other girl said.
And I was like, "Are you okay?" And she said, "No, like, I need to go." And she's like, "Actually, no, wait, 1 minute. Anyways, so later that morning, she told me what actually happened. So
she says, so let's just get something out what she just said. She tells her, don't worry. Later that morning, so she spends the night.
Yeah.
Why didn't you call yourself a Uber? I'm not trying to defend Young Philly. I don't care for him so much.
Honestly.
But it's like, let us just wait and let everything play out before we jump into conclusion. Then once everything plays out and we now see, oh, Young Philly was guilty. He spends his time in jail and he stays there. But it's like we are all just so quick to jump on this thing. Then what now happens when it's not proven that this guy was innocent?
That black man has fallen.
The annoying thing is that once it happens that this guy is innocent, all these people that are saying these things, their apology is not going to. Everybody's going to be quiet. The apology is not going to be as loud as I was saying so many times. There was another case in America where this footballer was accused of rape, and this guy was almost lost everything. Mm-hmm. Do you know that when this guy was acquitted of every accusation, all the people that said crazy things about him, nobody said anything. Everybody kept quiet. Let's just take a chill pill and wait for this whole case to play out itself, and let's see all the evidence.
Exactly.
What more can we ask for? What is our problem in this country? In this world, not in this country, in this world. In this generation, is like, bro, we've seen so many times, and I'm not saying he's innocent, I'm not saying he's guilty. He has been accused of something, well and good. Let's follow due process. But it's because of this amount of pressure. That is why companies have to drop all of their endorsement with this person, because they don't want to be aligned with people. Because of people like this that will go and bombard them and say, oh, drop everything with this person immediately, and make the person lose everything that they've worked hard for. And again, to Young Philly, because I'm not going to sit here and try to make Young Philly not even give him his own share of this whole thing, because bro, you are the architect of your own problem. If it comes out that you are innocent, you are the architect of your own problem. This whole lifestyle of giddy sex, like, bro, calm down. Imagine Fresh and Fit saying that they saw him being aggressive with ladies. There are conversations on him being aggressive, being like so rough with ladies. But no one has ever said that. At least nobody has come and said that he has done it. All his friends are quiet, which is quite suspicious on its own. But all I'm just saying, let's just wait. Let this whole thing play out. His friends could be quiet because of his ongoing investigation. And
Chunks also came out and said he cannot put the
whole gist.
Exactly.
We don't know the whole gist. Let's just wait. Is that too hard to do? Do you have any other thing you want to say about this? Let's just move on. Please, let's just wait. We cannot just be jumping into conclusions like this. Thank you. All right, so this controversy between Nigeria and Libya, we all know the gist, but
everything we know about the Libya versus Nigeria controversy. Since Sunday, October 13th, social media has been abuzz with news and photos of Nigerian football players stranded in an airport in Libya due to maltreatment in the country. Here's all we know so far. Nigeria Super Eagles were supposed to play a football match against Libya's national team on October 15th. This match is part of their preparations for the 2025 Africa Cup of Nations, AFCON. The first one had already been held in Nigeria on Friday, October 12th, with Nigeria beating the Libyans 1-0 with a late goal scored by Dele Bashiru. Following the end of the first leg at the Godswill at Babio Stadium in Uyo, Akwa Ibom State, the second match was then scheduled to be an away match in Libya. To prepare for this, the Super Eagles left Nigeria aboard a chartered flight on the morning of Sunday, October 13th. The flight carrying the Nigerian team was supposed to land in Benghazi Airport, but just as the pilot was completing his landing, he was diverted to the Al Abrak International Airport, a smaller airstrip in another city outside of Benghazi. The Al Abrak International Airport is usually mostly used for Hajj operations, so it wasn't equipped enough to handle the Super Eagles landing. To add to this, neither the Libyan government nor the Libyan Football Federation provided any support for the team. No welcoming committee, no food, no water, no Wi-Fi, and no transportation to their hotel, which was now 3 hours away due to the diversion. The poor treatment of the Nigerian national football team got worse because not only were they not provided any assistance by the LFF, but they also couldn't fix the issues themselves because the airport gates were locked and no cars could take them to their hotel. On Monday, October 14th, the NFF released the statements telling off the Libyan Football Federation for their poor treatment of the Nigerian team. In their statements, they explained that they made a...
Alright, so yeah, you can go and watch the full video yourself. I think we all have a gist about it, but I think you want to play or something, right?
Yeah,
What the pilot said. It's just crazy that this is happening. I feel like they just want to.
Honestly, we can rule out incompetence because incompetence is not an excuse for this one.
It's not an excuse, but
to land as destination Benghazi, Benina, but unfortunately, and we got the approval from the Libyan Civil Aviation Authority that we are approved to land in Benghazi, but unfortunately, when we start descent, they asked us to divert to Labreg, which is at almost 150 miles, that means 300 kilometers around more far, but it's at the east. So it wasn't our alternate, something which is not good because in aviation we have our flight plan, we calculate the fuel to our destination, so we have to avoid this kind of thing because it may make a breach to safety. And when I insist to land in Benghazi according to my flight plan and according to my authorization, they said no. It's from the highest authority. You have to land in Labreg al-Baida. So
the Libyans are saying that it was your discretion to land in.
No. Everything is registered. In aviation, we cannot hide anything. So I asked them several times, at least 8 times, and I warned them probably I will be in trouble for fuel. They said it's from highest authority. You cannot land in Benghazi. You have to divert immediately to Labreg. Thank God.
Okay, so it was intentional, very, very intentional.
Exactly.
It was very, very intentional from their part. They did this on purpose.
I don't want to hear. I don't want to drop on your excuse. I say.
Yeah, I think they've CAF has sued them or something. There's a petition against them. But it's just foul play. It's ridiculous how everywhere where we go now, everybody they attack us. Because we beat enough for our house now, call the verse.
You got giving one lame ass excuse of when they came here, and they were supposed to land in Port Harcourt, so supposed to land in New York. But then a lot of explanations has come out to show that was you guys. They preferred it that way. From the, I think let me even get the videos. So.
I think what I heard was that they landed in the wrong airport. They put in the wrong airport. They landed in the wrong place, and then they offered to give them a chartered bus to come back or another flight to come down to Port Harcourt, and they said no. They offered them a ride with escorts. They said no. They said they were not going to follow them. But Nigerians still made sure that they give them an escort on the road to make sure they get them to where they were supposed to be. It's not even on the same level. I think it's because of that they now intentionally did this one to us. It's such a pity. It's such a shame. This is not football now. You are already known for one or two things. You are already known for violence. You now decide you want to maltreat footballers that just came to play football. If people can't beat us, you're supposed to just come out and boldly say
it's just blatant racism, if you ask me. It's just pure racism. Even in this Africa,
even in Africa, we see racism all the time.
You can't escape it.
You can't escape it. From countries like Libya, countries like, especially in the north, you can see how sometimes they can be very racist to black people. It's funny.
You think white people racism is crazy until you meet Arab man racism. Because people they already have histories of when all these Northern African countries come to West African countries for matches like this and stuff. They always come with their own stuff. To the detail, to the last detail. They always come with their own because they don't you see that guilt of when they mistreat they don't and want to drink your water.
Because they feel like you mistreat them too.
They always make sure they are coming fully prepared. And that's fucked up because we were not that kind of thing. How you put our players? You diverted them. Meaning you are aware of their arrival.
They were very aware.
You now diverted them to another sub airport. No food, no water, no Wi-Fi, nothing. You just locked them up.
It's inhumane.
I swear.
See
how our player just people that
what millions. The maltreatment is crazy. I'm glad they said they were not going to play. I'm glad they actually protested and said they're not going to play that match. Yeah.
You need to do better.
You need to do better. You need to do better. I hope you guys do better. But what's the gist about Ghana? On the lighter note.
You say we are not the enter Morocco. 285. Are we ready?
Ghana. When I go collect, they collect our no worry. We got that day. What's going on?
The Black Stars. You are not coming to Morocco. Such a shame.
Ghana will forever collect our hand. But I wish Ghana all the best. Maybe honestly. better luck next.
Just support us. Support us.
I'm not going to see support us. Rubber for our face. No worry.
Because
all this ones don't play us now. We go through. We are going through. Don't worry. We go teaching us something. You need to say that last one we play.
Okay.
That last one we play when I do Joro win.
That kind of thing.
I'm talking to you, Ivory Coast. That wasn't a Joro match. It's you, Ivory Coast. I'm talking to. We won that match.
You still have your niggas
you see the foul play they did in that match. Let's not be like say we they go back, but una they fear us now.
As in that man when we all look of
none of them mind now. They don't see our boys now. That is at that time. Now go yeah way.
Gallant men, we got here.
We gallant, we dey grand. Everybody body full grand. You dey whine us.
We're just so crazy.
Ghana didn't see this.
They didn't see this.
They didn't see this coming. They are waiting to eat jollof. But yeah, this was a very interesting episode. I think we had a good time, right? You had a good time.
I did.
I hope you guys had a good time too. You already know how we do it on this side. Make sure to like, share, subscribe, and also, of course, just leave a comment. Chat with us in the comment. We're always in the comments seeing what you guys think. You already know what time it is. It's WLMP Pod. Signing out. Peace.